bulk of the system is like 100 years old, very small system, supplies about 1% of our water. Groenhof system feeds directly into the Uitenhage Kariga area. The church in Mpofu is our main lifeline from the west. The Kofa delivery system is shared with the agricultural community, and we only get about 25% of the allocation out of the Kofa Dam from there. And so having said that, this is our lifeline followed up by that one if you speak about the total volume of water supply to the metropolitan area. And it is because of this system that's running dry that we sit with the problem, and essentially that comes from the fact that we're using too much water. There's some springs also, but we're not going to go over that detail. As of yesterday morning, these are our average dam levels. You will notice that in July 2020 we had 18%, July 2021 we had 10%, we got a bit of rain in July, August, came up a bit, and we're sitting there. The 30 mils or so that we got recently only brought us a week of extra rain, just one extra week. So you just show you how dry the area is and how much additional water we actually need to come out of the drought. In November 2015, that is the last time all our dams were full. In September 2018, we had some good rains, and it only came up to there, and maybe we lost our sense of security there, false sense of comfort, and the dam levels have been dropping ever since then. And you can see there the July bit of rain, but we're just hovering there at the moment. We are thankful for all the rain that has fallen, but the rainfall is one thing. Changing our attitudes and how we use the God-given resource is the critical thing, I believe. These are some photographs of the dams. You will know the date, but the date, don't be confused by the date, but you look at the percentages. I mean, this is Kofa at 8%, Kofa is sitting at 6%, even lower at the moment. And look at how much water must fall there to fill up that dam. Similarly, this is in Mpofu Dam over here. This is about 20 to 30 meters deep there of water that must still fall and fill up that area to have some significant relief. Churchill is below 11% at the moment, and Mpofu is at 16.6% at the moment. So just to give you the context where you are. Weather predictions for the next couple of months. We work closely with the South African Weather Service. These are their predictions, but what is significant is that block that is clear, uncolored there. That is a signal that there is no clear indication of good rains for us. We would like to have a dark green spot there, because that means it is above normal rainfall. So what we can expect, according to the weather predictions, is at best normal or average rainfall. But this year is the 7th consecutive year, as indicated by the South African Weather Service, that we have had below average rainfall consistently. The last time this happened was from 82 to 92, about 10 years we had below average rainfall. So just to give you a context, but 82 to 92, how many people were there? 82 to 92, our equality of our society wasn't in place. It's only since 1994 that we gave access to more people to water, so there's more connectivity on the system. The municipality has built more than, it's probably close to 100,000 houses since 1994. So you can just appreciate having to walk 100 meters to fill up a 20-liter drum with water, and now having proper water in house, the context of water usage. Getting back to this, that means that there's no clear signal. And maybe that is an opportunity for our God to intervene in that space. Because his unprecedented favor on us could help us there. So from a Department of Water and Sanitation point of view, what they call license all water out of the dam. All water belongs to the state, which is a good thing, so that we don't claim if I've got a house next to the dam, I can use much water. So when the water's in the dam, it's licensed, they they determine how much water can successfully and sustainably be taken out of the dam. You apply for a license for that, and all the dams have got licenses. And based on what is available and predictions of anticipated rainfall, they say we can only get about 222 megaliters per day out of that system, and all of the systems added together. And that means we need to cut our water consumption by 37%. Give and take, rounded up, 40% we have to cut our water consumption. We are nowhere close to that. The closest we got to that was about 2018, when it dropped to about 250. And with a persistent drought, we're actually in a very, very bad situation now. This is just virtually the daily monitoring of our actual water consumption and the dam drops, predictions of it going forward. At the same trend, if we change our habits and save more water, we can flatten the curve basically to about April next year. So what this means is that we're sitting at about December this year, middle December this year, Churchill Dam will fail. And why this is of significance is because the two dams together, they work together and giving us water. If the one fails, the other one cannot give sufficient water. And I'll show you a picture why it can't give sufficient water out of it. So, and as I say, that date, with the rain that we have moved on a couple of days now, maybe to the end of the 21st of December now, the 30 months that we had about a week ago. But you can see how fine balanced on the knife edge our water supply system is. So the technical team has gone and we've analyzed the water supply to the metro. And what we've then come up is with a three-phase plan, three-prong approach to say, let's what can we do to make it more personal to the customer so that he or she can understand that they're just not part of the crowd. But this is applicable to me in my area where I stay. And therefore, the Nooitgedag system there, because there's no restriction on there, the Gariep Dam, from where it gets its water from, is at 80%, so we've got a secure resource on that side. So those of our congregants who are staying on that part of the metro, we are asking, brothers and sisters, please save 20% of your water. I say, but why must I say? I'm getting water from Nooitgedag, there's no restriction. But we're an interconnected society. Bishop mentioned an injury to one is an injury to all. Yeah. So, if we are able to save that 20% water there, we can transfer that water to these areas where it's more critically needed. So, getting onto this orange-brown area, that area is a combination feed because the excess available water from Nooitgedag that's not being used there, we pump it across the city to Greenbushes on this side, and then we distribute it into this orange-brown area over here. But because that orange-brown area also uses too much water at this present moment in time, it gets its water from Nooitgedag that we bring into the area, but to supplement its demand, we're taking water out of the dams. Therefore, we say, those staying there, please save 40% of the water as well. And then in the red area, where they are entirely dependent on the dams on the west, they have to save water by 40%. One of the support structures that we have from National Treasury, an observation that they made, if that happens, we have to close down the whole CBD. We have to close down the airport. The people in Summerstrand, right through to Sydenham, Neave Township industrial areas, they're all affected. So the situation is very, very dire. So what are we as a municipality trying to do? There are 9 things, I'm going to briefly touch on them. The proverbial things, plug the leaks. We've actively worked on this for more than a year already. And what I'm saying is to know what the problem is a method of understanding what we can do about it. So we have got about 38 and another lot of inspectors, make about 40 to 45 maintenance teams dealing with water leaks. That is supported by about 6 contracting teams and we'll appointing another 4 in the next week to come. And all of this is targeting at dealing with these water leaks over here. And we track them in the different clusters of the municipality. Each cluster, we track them, the contractors and the plumbers working each section. We have logged 37,000 water leaks. We fixed about 33,000. There's 4,250 left there. The last week it was 4,800. So we managed to deal with the current leaks and the backlog. What we're picking up in some of them is when people phone for dirty water complaints or no water or things like that. That's also part of the log. So we're cleaning up all of the log. But we will not clean it up or take it off unless we've got a positive feedback that that incident has been dealt with, so we know we can put it to bed. Just getting back to this slide. On the bulk pipeline, we actually shut the Churchill pipeline next week down again to fix another bulk leak. The contractor working there couldn't even come through the dunes working there, and so they had to hire a helicopter to fly in the material in a basket over there and then carry out the repairs. And so just to give you the extent to which we have to go to see that the water is kept flowing in the pipes. This is water restriction notice 9. The detail is on our municipal website. And obviously the key thing here for me is for us to stick to 50 liters per person per day. That to me is the margin. And if you're able to do that, you can multiply that 50 by 5 or 10 or 1 person that's in the house, and you'll know how much water you must use. And if you read your water meter and your usage is more than that, you know you've got an underground water leak as well. So those are small things that we can do in a house. And I know that there's a lot of criticism on us as a municipality. We don't respond quick enough. There's a lot of things outstanding. But what I'm trying to say, we know there's a problem. We know what we can do. But at this point in time, we will continue to do what we can. But we're pleading to each and every citizen, please do your part and cut water consumption. I know you can throw 10 darts at us for doing things wrong, but please do that one thing for us and save water. Our communication campaign, if you want anything, some of the stuff is on the municipal website. They try to clean up the website a bit to make it more accessible for more information, so that information is there. We've got a dashboard that we've also got there that indicates average dam storage, what was the change about a week ago, and the average water use. There's a link to that as well. And I can make the presentation also available to you guys afterwards. And you can pick up the links and things like that from there. Then our business chamber has also come to the party because we know at our schools there are a lot of problems at our schools, and they've come to the party, and that 21 has apparently gone up to 31 now. Private businesses taking it up, helping schools fix their leaks and the like. And indications are already there. There's been substantial savings of water that is taking place over and above the fact that there's financial saving, and so that money is not going to waste and pay for water that's wasted, but can be used for education as well. This is the Impofu Dam intake tower that I referred to before. This dam level is so low that water can't naturally flow into the intake tower from where we can pump it into the treatment works to treat the water. So we've constructed these barges on the dam. There are submersible pumps in there, and we now pump the water into the intake chamber of the big pumps over there, and from there the pumps can be lifted out there. So that is a view from the top of the walkway there. This is a new barge that we put in there, so that the total capacity of those three together is about 60 megs per day. You'll notice the one that's been taken out so we can carry out some repairs, because that barge, these two have been running for more than a year. So there is wear and tear and the efficiency drop, and they have to update them. So speaking about Nooigerag, there's been a lot of chat about Nooigerag, and the newspaper reports recently indicates the construction has stopped. I can confirm that that is correct. Excuse me. But what the municipality has done in its plan to mitigate and use the most amount of available water from Nooitgedag was to convert this back into a treatment facility. During the 1992 drought, this reservoir was constructed, but it was specifically constructed to function as a reservoir, but also function as a temporary treatment facility. And then at that time, they were only treating like 10 megaliters per day, 10 to 20 at the best. What we've done now with this, we've revisited the designs, we've updated there, we've put stirrers in there, and there's a lot of pipework inside the reservoir that has been constructed. Chemical dosing of the intake has come in, chlorination to disinfect the water, and off it goes out in the outside. But in order to achieve this, what we've done at Nooitgedag, we separated the water that's been treated there, that can be treated up to phase 2, is 140 megaliters per day. But because we have both pump stations already constructed in phase 2, we are able to pump 210 megaliters per day. So we can pump more, but there's not enough water to be treated. So we split the two systems, treated water via the low-level scheme, and the untreated water we pump into this reservoir here. Now we're treating here between 30 and 50 megaliters of water here. So with Nooitgedag, the phase 3 not being 100% complete, we're just short about 20 megs per day now on that scheme at the moment, and we can push this probably a bit higher still there as well. So just to give you a context of those two aspects. Then, this is our basic water supply in informal settlements. And the reality of the situation is, if we are not responsible in using our water, that is where we're going to go get water. We're going to have to put over 400 of these tanks up throughout the western part of the metropolitan area. Businesses will come to a close, and people will have to go queue there for water. We've already devised a plan for KwaNobuhle, because in July, before we had that bit of rain, the KwaNobuhle was going to run out of water. We then identified 50 sites and contracted a plinth big enough to take 2 by 5,000 liter tanks. That's the plinth. This is typically what it will look like. And we've got just about a week time lag required, and then we can roll it out in KwaNobuhle. So this is the plan, and if that has to happen, we will roll out in the rest of the metropolitan area for the red areas that I've identified already. But I'll get to but the key is, we will not need to get here. We don't need to get here if we work together and save water. And it's not tomorrow or later, we have to start immediately. And this is what we're going to go queue here. My biggest fear here is basically civil unrest. We will land up with civil unrest. And maybe one thing is a good thing, we didn't land up with this situation before the elections, because I think that could have been even worse for us. But now, this is the reality of what is going to happen. And my plea is for us to save water to get away from this. Because we can have to, we've already earmarked something like 800 people to man these installations 24/7. We've got annual water trucks also already geared up to tank the water in. We've already procured something like 200 JoJo tanks, 5,000 liter JoJo tanks on standby to be rolled up already. So these are the interventions that we've done behind the scenes also. Our finance guys are having a go at us, but where these things are stopped, we're not using it. But I can't let people run out of water and say, oops, we should have bought them a couple of months ago. So in terms of the medium-term things that we've done, we spoke about Nooitgedag phase 3, just maybe for information, and maybe this is hot off the press. I'm in discussions with the Department of Water and Sanitation, they are asking us to intervene and see whether we take the project over ourselves and finish it ourselves, because they are doing it with the agent Amatola Water. So we're putting a plan together in the next week and see whether we can get over from there. Then what we've constructed, the Bloemendal pipeline link, and I'll explain that to you, and the Konabushe pump station, and more. One of the key things that we've come to is on the Konabushe pump station, and I'll allude to why the day of April is also very important. This is a construction at Mooikenag, it's about 2 months old here. So all of this work is coming to an end. Some of the, like the roofing, and that will still take place, but if we can get what they call the first water out of it, construction still takes place, but we're able to put water through the plant already. That is what we're aiming for at the moment, and that's the discussion that we're having with the contractor at the moment, see how we can mitigate and get him back there again. Then what we've done also is, from Bloemendal area to the lower parts of Konabushe, we built a 5.5 kilometer pipeline link in 3 months, 4 months. And it is now there here. So this green area, which is the lower part of Konabushe, we're going to feed with water straight from Mooikenag. That means we're taking that amount of water, saving that amount of water in our dams on the west. And it's only this high-lying red area that we have to bring up on the other side. Then what we have to do, when the water comes in from Mooikenag, comes into Chelsea Reservoir, it's out here at Greenbushes, this is the existing pump station that we've upgraded. The pumps, everything's upgraded, creating a new pump station at a lower level to improve its operating range. And then we will able to pump some of the Mooikenag water to the top part of Konabushe. And that water will be available in about April, May next year. So that is one of the reasons why April target to save water now to take us to that, because then we can bring more water from Mooikenag in and make it more available to the rest, but we will still continue saving water. It means our sustainability will improve, but we have to continue saving water. Then in terms of our boreholes, Koegekop, I'll deal with that separately. These 3 locations of boreholes, we are busy constructing it at the moment at a cost of about 150 million rand. And this is just the one in Lennox Street, close to the Mount Road police station. There's a great sports club here. Our reservoir there are boreholes located there. We've constructed the pipe here already, underneath the plant here already. And so we'll take the water and put it into our reservoir, disinfect it, and we can then distribute it to our customers. That means that I think this is about 2 megaliters of water from this source that's available will be sent into the system there, and meaning the saving from the dams once again. In terms of the long term, we've got the Koegekop water treatment facility. That's what's under construction at the moment. This is done directly by us as a municipality, and by come September, August next year, this will be completed, and we'll be able to produce 15 megaliters per day. This cost is about 300 million rand. The booster pump stations that we've also constructed, we've allowed expansion of the scheme already. So, and there's a tender that is closed for the supply and delivery and installation of those pumps. So once the big scheme of the treatment works is done, these pumps will be in, and we can pump those with that additional water as well away. So our key message is, we've got a prolonged drought for more than 7 years. Our water consumption is still too high, 280, it dropped down to below 280 in the week, but our consumption is still too high. We have to be in the range of about 222 to 230, that is our range where we should be. We have to reduce water consumption at all costs. And if you can imprint in everybody's mind 50 liters per person per day as a magic number, we can do it together. And my plea to this meeting is for all the churches to convince and encourage their congregants basically to save water at all costs. My last slide, okay. They say a dirty car is a naughty badge for us, because we don't waste much saving washing cars. I mean, there's your 50 liters per person per day. There's our mayor. And Bishop, if I may, with your indulgence, Bishop has already prepared a letter for the congregants in his diocese to actually deal with a message, and maybe I could encourage everybody to do something similar so that we can get the message to everybody at the end of the day, and be prudent. I was very encouraged by the words in the letter, and water has always been a very great part of the Bible, and I don't all know the details as the learned colleagues that are on the table, but you know, Jesus was baptized in water. There's the Red Sea. All of those major incidents and coverages in the Bible speaks to water. And as man, we have been given the opportunity to name the animals and be responsible for the resources of the earth. And this is one of the resources that God has given us. And it is one of the resources, ironically, that there is no substitute for. There's a substitute for various kinds of sanitation. There's a substitute for various kinds of energy. There's no substitute for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Beautiful.